All right. You might be able to use these chords, maybe in some kind of song or something, for my students, okay? So look, how about if we're saying we're in the key of C minor, okay? But you know, in the key of C minor, when we go to F minor, that's our fourth chord in minor. Now, I like playing it this way because I can slide it around. I could play it as a regular bar chord, add the 7, add the 9, but I can also add the 9 here. I could also use my thumb, the groovy way. I like this way too, it feels right. You could add minor third on the top, might be possible. Suspended, minor 6. Okay, so you should know the intervals in that chord. Know the intervals in your note names. From there, I'm going to go to this B flat 7. Well, I could play that in the intervals. Do you see? I'm using my thumb. I could use a standard bar chord, added 7, thumb. I could even do it like this. This is a good way to play it too. 1, right? 2, 4, 3. We're still omitting the A string. We're muting that out, just like in the groovy way. But see your intervals. See your 1, your dominant 7 or minor 7, major third, perfect fifth, root, added 7. So that B flat 7, you should know at least those. Maybe even you would come up to your B flat up here, and you would have your B flat 7 and your added fifth, and then you've got. So, yeah, learn a lot of B flat dominant 7. They're movable. C7, D7, E7. So all those chords are movable. Same thing with the type 1s. They're movable. C7, D7. You got to look at all these chord forms as movable. So after that B flat major 7, your E flat major 7. Now what song could you use that in? Well, we're in the key of C minor. So we got the 4 chord. And this would be the 3 chord major of C minor. 1, 2, 3. So we got our E flat major. It could be just a plain major, but if we're playing in a kind of a jazz or another style, we might want to make it a major 7. 4 notes, 5 notes, and later we can make that an E flat 9, right? We could make it an E flat 6 by borrowing baby finger and having C on the top. Another major 7 is adding D up here. That adds another a major 7 in the top chord instead of the middle of the chord. I could put the 5, put the B flat in the bottom, and have it really warm. Okay, get into that E flat major 7. Know your intervals and notes there. How about A flat major 7? God, what song could we use this in, huh? Yeah, well, A flat. Could be A major 7, G major 7, whatever. But you need to see those intervals. You need to see your notes, your intervals. You got to see root. Major 7, major 3rd, perfect 5th. So lovely, movable chord. A flat major 7. I could do it like this too. How about root, major 3rd, perfect 5th, major 7 on the top, and do I want to put my thumb down there on the low A flat? So now I have another voicing. Use that word, voicing. What kind of voicing? That means where are your intervals? A flat major 7 way up here. Okay. A flat major, major 7. That would be your form 4 A flat major 7. How about that D half diminished 7? There's got to be a song for this. So remember, diminished chords move in minor thirds. This half diminished, if I go up a minor third from D, that would be F. If I go up to A flat, and I move A flat back to B. And coming down from D to B. And then There's other forms. And C. So I've got basically 3 forms of the B half diminished 7. So you should know that chord. You should be able to look at it and go, well, if I'm in D, there's a tritone. That's the flat 5, what we call the diminished 5th. And this would be my dominant 7. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this top note would be from D, a minor 3rd, or what we call a diminished 3rd. Because if I went up 1 half note, that would be a major 3rd. But we bring that down from a major 3rd to the minor 3rd, which is also called a diminished 3rd in the key of D. So you've got the diminished 5th, the 7, and C. So I've got basically 3 forms of the B half diminished 7. So you should know that chord. You should be able to look at it and go, well, if I'm in D, there's a tritone. That's the flat 5, what we call the diminished 5th. And this would be my dominant 7. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this top note would be from D, a minor 3rd, or what we call a diminished 3rd. Because if I went up 1 half note, that would be a major 3rd. But we bring that down from a major 3rd to the minor 3rd, which is also called a diminished 3rd in the key of D. So you've got the diminished 5th, the 7, and you've got the diminished 3rd. So therefore we have a D 7 half diminished, because we got the 7 in there, but I've got a diminished 5th tritone, and I've got the diminished 3rd on the top. Wonderful chord. So what if we were to take that chord and we move that half diminished 7 to the next string and down on a fret to the 3rd position? Well, here once again we have the same order. We have the flat 5, the diminished 5th, a flatted 9. So if I put my thumb on here, we can see the diminished. But in actuality, in G, I see that I have a G, a root, a dominant 7. I have a major 3rd now. It's a major chord, G7. But now I add a 5th. I've still got a G7. But this is a flat 9. Here's the 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we flat it. And we get that lovely G7 flat 9. And it's also movable in minor 3rds. If I then I'm back to G. So that's something to explore. You need to see your intervals. You need to see note names. I think you'll find a use for that chord somewhere. It's a lot of people's favorite chord. I don't know why, but it's just kind of odd, you know. Yikes, yikes, ah. It's got that feeling, right? And then C, good old C minor 7. Of course you know C minor 7. Open position. C7 type 2. And we make it a minor 7. So we've got minor 7, C minor 7, C minor added. You got that added minor 7. And then we've got, we can go from the type 2, so type 1, You know, I like that one because it slides so nice. But I could use a standard C minor 7. I can add a minor third. I've got the root, the minor 7, minor third, perfect fifth, and I put a minor third on the top. I could bar and have a 7 on there too. So it's good to evaluate these chords, and I could use my thumb. I like using my thumb. You know that, right? The groovy method. Hendrix was playing this chord. Hendrix did a lot of that kind of stuff. Whether he knew the intervals he was playing, I'm sure he had an idea, but they sounded cool. He used it, and it was part of his rhythm style. Okay, that said, right, God, where are we now? I would go from C minor and realize that your C major 7 is usable, and we've gone through those in your chord scale. F minor 9, we can add that 9. I love this one up here. 2, 1, 3, 4. You should know the intervals in this. I'm not going to tell them to you. You got to learn them. Right? Your B flat 13. Your 13 is really the 6. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I play my dominant 7 scale and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So a 6 is called a 13 from the low root. You could play it down here by a type 2, have a root, a 7, and you could bar the minor, the major third, and the 13. So you've got a type 2 and a type 1. And maybe a type 3 would be like, you can take your, kind of like, if I went, well, let's go up here to maybe F. If I go to F and I add my baby finger, that's adding the 13. 7, 6. E flat major 9. Ooh. Flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That top note. That's your major 9, part of the major scale up above the root, the top root. It's usually major 9s are well, they are. It's a wonderful mellow interval. 9s, whether it's minor 9 or major 9, it's usually very. I could put my 5th in the bottom, and that warms that up real nice. Root 5, root perfect 5th, root. So seeing those intervals, seeing those note names, you know, you've got an E flat, a G, you've got your D and your F, and you need to see those intervals. 1, 3, major 7, 9. Lovely, lovely sound. So I don't know. I think you'll find places. It's a movable chord. D9, D flat, C9. You know, major 7, 9. Using those two chords in together with each other are really nice. They substitute nice in major 7 to major 9 harmony. G9 sus. So in this chord, I see, or you should see, the dominant 7. 3rd finger's playing the root. Your 4th finger's playing the dominant 7, or minor 7. Your 2nd finger's playing, ooh, what is that? 1, 2, there's your 9. Your major 9. And then this C note up here with my 1st finger, there's your sus. If I played a G as a bar chord, I have C here. There's my sus. here, my baby finger. I play my G bar chord type 2, add my baby finger, and I've got a sus. Well, here I've got a G, I've got the 9 in there, and then the sus. Right? Love that chord. So there is another form for that chord. I don't know where you're going to use this, but what if I went up here and just barred the middle 5 strings? That's a G9 sus. Same chord. A B flat 9 sus. If I move that up to C, I've got a C9 sus. Well, you need to analyze this chord. You've got a root and then your sus. There's your perfect fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dominant 7. Just like you had in the other form. And then your 9. Your 9's on the top. And could you add the top note? Yes, that would be adding a perfect fifth. Could I do this? Just bar all strings? Could that be C9 sus? That would be your B9 sus, right? But I could bar all, but in most cases, we're limiting. We're not adding the fifth on the top. We're keeping it as a 4 note. So I hope that enlightens you a little bit on the sus chord. It's a great chord to have a sus, but what we've got here is we've added the 9, that mellow 9, and it becomes a really usual kind of a chord that it's kind of like a cosmic chord to me. It's got that cosmic celestial sound to it. Maybe you'll hear that too. There's another chord, I don't know where you'll find a use for it, but it is used a lot in jazz, and it's a C6-9. If I go down here, and I go 1, 2, 3, I've got a major third, so it's major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So A would be my 6, my relative minor, and D, here's my 9. So here's a C9. What if I add G on the top? That adds a 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I add a 9, I've got a G, C6-9. And I could have the fifth on the top. I can have a fifth on the bottom. Listen to this big chord. I could even bar G and C, 5, 1, and then I've got the major third, the major 6, the major 9, and another perfect fifth. So how beautiful that chord is. What a beautiful ending chord. I don't know what song you could end this with, but even a blues song or something, you could end with a 6-9. And life goes on. And it's a beautiful sunset. And she looks so pretty walking on the beach. And just the nice thoughts of things to come. The moments and memories we've made that we just love. That's what the 6-9 chord makes me think. It makes me think of really great, warm thoughts. Anyways, I've done enough. I've done enough today. I've done no damage, but I've been trying to help you look at chords, okay? And I don't know, well, maybe I do know what song, but you're probably using these chords in one of our lessons, okay? Or you're going to be. So get into it. I've been working with you with chord scales, major and minor. So this kind of puts it into use a little bit. But there are literally thousands, hundreds of thousands of songs that deal with these chords. And I just happened to show you in this key because maybe there's a song that you're working on that kind of works with this key. The key that might go from C minor, and it might modulate to a C major chord in there. We can do that in songs. We can have a song that starts in minor and ends in major, or starts in major and ends in minor, or, you know, we can mix up chord scales. That's what makes it really cool, and it makes it really, gives us a whole bunch more ideas, you know. So that said, keep practicing. Just, you gotta stay with it. You have to practice every day if it's a good or bad day. You really want to play guitar and be a good musician, and you really, it has to become part of your lifestyle, okay? If you really want to be good and you really want to make progress, playing guitar, being involved in music has to become part of your lifestyle, just like other things you do every day. You've done them since you've been a child, maybe, or they're important to your line of work or your family or whatever, but you've got to work your music and guitar into that. And some days may be shorter time spent than others. Everyone's different, but I am trying to tell you that when you don't play every day, then you fall out of it and you forget things and you get lazy. And then, well, you wonder why you're not getting somewhere and learning songs and exploring and adventures and safaris and missions of music. You're not there because you're not practicing. Practicing is an art and it's a skill. And you have to get good at it. There are a lot of routines that you need to do. There's some routines that might not be helping you. Other routines may be. Some may be evolving. But we'll do a lecture on that soon, on practice routines. And that should be interesting and I'm sure helpful to everyone, even myself, okay? Not every practice time I do is a great practice. Do I think I'm making progress? But I try to get good at it and make it better. Because I know there are some times when I'm practicing and the light comes on, I go, wow, that's why that works. That's why that sounds good. That's why that doesn't sound good. Or, hey, I can use this. Or that's in that song. Or any combination of things that I make a discovery. I discover. And when you discover things on your own, kind of, that's really a great way to learn. Guarantee you. Am I making sense to you? If I am, put a like on this video, okay? Or write me a positive good note. I just hope I'm helping. I wish someone would have taught me these things really young. Have a good week. Have a good month. Have a good year. I really hope you hang with it and you'll see that great things will come out of your playing and knowing music. It's not anything that's magic or supernatural. It's all here. And how you use your brain and how you use reasoning music. And being skeptical too is a really good thing. You know, why doesn't this work? Or maybe there's something else I can do or learn, you know. But it's all good. It's all about learning how to learn. All right. Yay! You did it. You got through another lesson. I don't know. You'll use these chords somehow. There must be some song or something.